Yes, good afternoon and welcome to the second fixture today in the West Indies Women's T20 competition here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. An exciting game this morning, and now we have Trinidad taking on the Windward Islands.
And here we are, the number 3, and an interesting start here for the Windward Islands. First delivery and the first wicket. Happy Windwards there.
Yes, and if I'm seeing a full delivery, and that is plumb. A man fixing a pipe would not be plumber than that one. And the batter goes, really didn't move her feet, just got her feet in front of his stump. Some inward movement there from the left arm seamer. Vincent. And there she was, dismissed.
Well, excellent start there for the Windward Islands. Not having the best of tournaments so far, but an excellent start in this game. Game number 2 and day number 3, really plumb LBW from where we at. The replay would show that as well. That is nothing. You put a... you see, the tradesman would say put a level on that to get plumbed down. So, wicket number 1, first delivery ball. Vincent back in the pavilion without scoring. No trouble to the scorers.
Yes, Joseph is there, and she'll be joined by Whitney Cooper, coming out at number 3. Janaba Joseph out there as well. Yeah, Vincent, she almost gave herself out. As soon as she was struck on the pad, she just held her head down as if she knew that the verdict was coming in. It's a good delivery. First up from Ross. Some inward movement. That's a low arm action, which should help her move the ball in to the right hander.
And just to remind you ladies and gentlemen, who have been looking at this broadcast, Trinidad and Tobago, they are top of the table. Windward Islands are struggling at the bottom. So it's a top and bottom clash here today. But an excellent start for the Windward Islands team. Ross, first delivery, picking up that wicket.
That's him in again to Cooper, experienced batter. Good length, just a bit shorter than the first delivery. But there's a fielder at deep mid wicket and a fielder at deep square leg. Those are the two outside of the circle. And of course, we're in the power play.
Ross looking pumped today. Look like she's up for it. 2 deliveries on spot, causing trouble to the Trinidadians very early.
Struck on the pad, quick single. All is well that ends well for the pair at the crease, Cooper and Joseph. Joseph responding very early to the call, getting home safely. So it's 1 for 1.
Yeah, the Windwards look like they really have a plan here today. Immediately, Ross hitting those lines, and just good lines, and then causing the batter to play, picking up that early wicket, and seems very pumped. Actually running through and a follow through to feel that third delivery. As I said, the hunting season have not been that great thus far in this tournament. Trinidad and Tobago on the opposite side of the fence, leading the pack.
Another one struck on the pad, but seemed to be pitching outside the leg stump. Didn't come back in with any swing there. There seemed to be that angled delivery across. Actually, it did swing back, but missing leg.
Yeah.
So she's getting that movement.
Yes, definitely going down leg. Good decision by the umpire on the replay. But some good lines been hit here by Ross, causing the batters asking questions. That's very good. It's really nice bowling here by Ross. Well set field as well. There's a short third man backward point, cover point, and a mid off.
And the one struck on the pad, but not all says umpire batted. So she's troubling the top order so far for the Trinidad team. Selena Ross, left arm seamer. Has quite a low arm action. Almost a slinging action. So you wouldn't expect much bounce, but you'd expect that inward movement to the right hander. 5-4 leg side field. 5-4 offside field, sorry. So that's fielded. That's the end of the over. After 1 over, Trinidad and Tobago, they're 1 for 1.
Yeah, excellent start there for the Windward Islands. Good start by Ross. Windward Islands seems to be bouncing around. Seems like they're up for it today. Trinidad and Tobago, full of experience, that team. The likes of Joseph, Cooper, Vincent, who have gone back. One of the better batters in this team. Really experienced team. They lead the table. Windwards need to get a win on the board to get up on that table. And there's no better way to do it, Alanson, than to beat them, the team that is on top of the table.
Yes, that's what they'll be aiming to do today. Trinidad would want to keep their winning ways alive. Continue to excel as they will look to take the title this year. I think that's what they have in mind to do. Jamaica going down earlier today, the defending champions. In that nail-biting 5-over game between them and the Leeward Islands. Really saw an explosive innings from Kiana Joseph.
She actually took the game on by herself, really. Won the game by herself, going half 43 from 19. After a few drop catches and mistakes by the Jamaicans, they would be kicking themselves, going back to that hotel.
Zeta James now comes on. She's bowling to Cooper for the delivery. It was a slip in place, but not required on that delivery. Tossed up, but around the middle and leg stump.
Yes, does a good job, James, with the new ball. Keeps it in the right area, slides on. Not a lot of spin. Left arm spinner. But she bowls very economically for the Windward Islands. Keeps things pretty tight in the power play. But Cooper and Joseph would be thinking differently.
Good delivery, well played by Joseph. Fairly sedate start here from the Trinidad and Tobago team. But that's a better line based on the field that she has set. The 5 fielders on the offside. Too straight on that occasion. Turn fine. There's only time for one though. And so it's another run to the total. Trinidad and Tobago score now moves up to 3 for 1. Janaba Joseph getting off the mark on that delivery.
Yeah, just sliding down leg and just turn nicely into the onside and picking up that single. Again, she bowls that line and that length just outside the leg stump.
Yeah, I could see that she doesn't want to give them the use of the arms to the offside, but then again, you do have that slip. And so the wicket taking option should still be in your mind. I think that's a better line there on that occasion. Bit of turn away from the right-handed Cooper.
Yeah, the length was good as well. Cooper just checking that shot, bouncing 2-3 times before it fielded by James. So that's a good line and length there. She has picked.
This time it's short, but Cooper cuts straight to the fielder. Backward point. It brings the over to an end. After 2 overs, the Trinidad and Tobago team, they are 3 for 1.
Yeah, excellent start here by the Windward Islands. As we mentioned before, not having the best of tournaments, but a really good start here. The thing is that if they can maintain this sort of bowling and pressure on the Trinidadian team throughout this innings, might find themselves being victorious in this game. And what a better team to do it against than the Trinidadian team, who leads the table with points. So Ross will be continuing to bowl. She's had a very good over up front. First delivery, picked up the wicket and continues to do well here. So in her second over, let's see what she does.
Good delivery. Looking for that swing, fuller delivery. I think it's a beneficial length for her to be that full, because she's getting the ball to tail in a bit in the air, but also off the pitch she's getting it to move, so posing some danger to the right-handers.
Yeah, good line and length by her, and she's not that quick a bowler as well, so that length is pretty good for her.
This time a little too full, and it's ball. They was looking for the drive, came off the inside edge. Joseph just threw it brought that one just a little bit more outside the half stump, so tempting her into the drive. But again, it's a dangerous shot when the ball is coming back in.
Yeah, that line and length that she bowled from the first delivery that she bowled in this innings really caused the batters from Trinidad some trouble. And she went to drive that ball, hitting the inner portion of the bat, and came back and struck in the off stump. And really, they have lost wicket number 2 here. Trinidad and Tobago are 3 for 2 against the Windwards.
Yes, an excellent start here from the Windward Islands team. And Trinidad, they would want to rebuild from this position. Joseph being dismissed early, along with our opening partner, Vincent. Vincent actually going off the first delivery of the innings. And Cooper, senior batsman, she's out there. A lot will depend on her from this position, I would think. And she's being joined now by the new batter. Chanel Saw. So let's see how Saw will combat and cope against the inward movement of Ross. This one just a bit too straight. So he's off the mark. Think about 2, but no time for it in the end. And continues the excellent start by the Windwards.
Yeah, and something that we have seen during the tournament, that they just jog their first single. If they put the fielders under pressure, they could get more than that. And I think that's a situation that should have been applied there. But they settled for 1, Trinidad and Tobago. They are 4 for 2.
Driven, but not timed. Again, it's a dangerous shot because of the movement that she's getting back in. Almost an action replay of the dismissal of Janaba Joseph. So she has to be mindful of that, Cooper. Driven, but not timed again. So getting that ball very full, almost on that Yorker length. Very close to the popping crease. Not really able to time it away to the offside.
Yeah, steady bowling here by Ross. Not giving anything away at all. Hitting our lines and our lengths really nicely. Creating a lot of pressure on the Trinidadian batters here in the first power play. So in this one, another dot delivery, something that we have seen throughout the tournament that has plagued all these teams. Dot deliveries.
Yes, so far you've seen here from Rush. She has bowled 2 overs, 1 maiden, 1 run, 2 wickets. So from her 2 overs, she has taken 2 wickets and has only gone for that single. So excellent bowling there from Ross. Getting a wicket off her very first delivery of the innings.
Yeah, brilliant returns here for Ross so far. Actually, I think this is the first time I've seen her bowling the new ball for Windwards, and she has done really good. Restricting the Trinidadians for 4 for 2 at this point. So really good figures from her. Good tight bowling. She's backed up by Zeta James, who has the ball in her hands. She has bowled 1 for 2 thus far. She's into her second over.
So a little bit wide again with the turn, so has to be mindful of that line. Didn't find the gap. Yeah, you mentioned that you haven't seen her open the bowling, Ross. I'll get back to that after this delivery. Cutting again, but cannot find the gap. Yes, it's interesting because she clearly is moving the ball around, and if you have a bowler who is getting movement, you definitely want to give them the use of that new ball. They can pose a lot of threats to the opposition team.
Yeah, just like what she did in this inning so far. Put the ball on a good line and length, cause the batters to play. And really she did that, and she picked up 2 wickets thus far.
It's very full, very slow from James, tossed up. Saw almost had time to change her mind about that drive.
Clever bowling.
Again, nice and slow. Nice loop on those deliveries from James. She's by no means a tall bowler, but she's giving the ball generous flight, getting it above the eye line of the batsman. In this case, the batter is Saw, who is relatively tall. I'd say that compared to James, she probably has maybe 6 inches over James, who is quite diminutive. It's a quick single, and she's able to make it. Wow, that should not have been a single, but she's home easily in the end, really.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Put the pressure on the fielders. They are flat-footed, just like what we just seen a while ago. Put the pressure on the fielders. Look for the 1s and 2s. You're not getting the boundaries, so you have to do a lot of running on this outfield.
Another quick single. And I think that one may have been a bit more interesting with the direct hit. Throw was high in the end. And it brings the over of James to an end. At the end of 4 overs, Trinidad and Tobago, having been inserted, they are 6 for 2.
Good going here by Windwards. James bowling pretty well. Cooper went for 2. Shaw 2 from 6. And Joseph 1 from 7. Ross has 2 for 1. And Zeta James has none for 4. The bowlers for Windward Islands. So Windwards really have things in their control here at Arnesville playing field, where they have won the toss and elected to bowl, and it has worked for them thus far.
Driving this time, still not timing it outside the off stump is Cooper, as Ross continues. As you mentioned, not much pace being delivered there by Ross, but she's getting that ball to move. And once you're getting movement, you will pose some trouble for the batters, especially with that new ball.
Yeah, good bowling here by Ross. 2 for 1. 2. Outside the off stump. No signal from the umpire. Safely into the keeper's glove.
Yeah, that one probably close to that wide line, but adjudged to be fine by umpire Brathwaite. This one is full, driven firmly to extra cover. James has a feeling, so no run there. And she's definitely bowling to a plan. She's keeping it relatively full, just around off stump or just outside, and looking to get that ball to come back into the right hand.
Yeah, just to jog back into the right hander or have an inside edge, as we saw earlier. She's just nagging just on that off stump, middle and off stump.
Another drive, but not timed. So far she has both 2.3 overs. She has gone for 1 run. She has taken 2 wickets. What a spell so far from Selena Ross.
Yeah, excellent bowling by her. Excellent bowling. Keeping things nice and tight for Windwards, picking up wickets, creating that pressure that all teams would like to have at the beginning of each innings. Again, another dot ball being bowled by Ross.
That's good feeling of her own bowling. The over's coming to an end. Could be another maiden for her. She has already bowled one in her first over. So it brings the over to an end. Another maiden delivered there by Selena Ross. She has figures of 3 overs, 2 maidens, 1 run, 2 wickets. And Trinidad and Tobago, after 5 overs, they're 6 for 2.
Yeah, exceptional bowling here by Ross for the Windwards, picking up 2 wickets and bowling tightly. That is just what the doctor ordered. Excellent bowling here by her. And a good start for the Windward Islands here against the Trinidad and Tobago team, who is leading the points table in the 3rd round of this West Indies Women Blast tournament here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This edition is the T20 tournament. As you see a change in bowling here. There's also a change in the commentator's booth. Back in the booth here is Keswick Williams. Welcome back, Keswick.
Good evening to you, Martin.
Well, we've seen an exceptional start here for the Windward Islands. You have not seen that in the tournament from them with bat or ball. But today, the ball has talked from Ross. She has 2 for 1 from 2 overs. A change in bowling. Fletcher comes into the attack rather early. She'll be bowling to Swan. Leg spin, good delivery again on the line of the leg stump. And rather quiet day for Trinidad and Tobago so far.
Usually the proceedings for them, the Trinidad team, they're not really aggressive in terms of their batting. Saw that throughout the tournament. What they do pretty well is...
Excellent delivery there by Fletcher, jumping just on that off stump, turning and bouncing into the keeper's glove. A really lovely take from her, an excellent delivery. Brilliantly bowled there by Fletcher.
We became accustomed to these deliveries from Afi Fletcher, going across the right-handers, showing all our international experience. But I was saying something before that delivery, Martin. We haven't really seen any sort of explosive batting from the Trinidad team. But really and truly, their bowling have been dominating throughout this tournament. Even to Brittany Cooper. She haven't really set this tournament alight, but the inning that she have played so far for this team. But look at that. Look at that. It's getting too sweet for me now, Martin.
Yeah, excellent delivery there by Fletcher again. Pitching just another off stump, turning, bouncing into the keeper's glove, causing all sorts of trouble here for these batters out of Trinidad and Tobago. 7 for 2. Fletcher. Remember, she bowls a googly as well. That one just wrapping on the pads. Didn't know which direction it was going from my observation. That's Cooper. Just played it safe. But some excellent bowling here from these 3 bowlers so far for Windwards. Ross, Fletcher.
T20, a game where you could enjoy boundary hitting, but you definitely always love to see a spinner, especially when they're into their game. So far for this tournament, Afi is really doing a fantastic job with ball and with bat for the Windward Island. Dot to finish, the score is 7 for 2.
Excellent bowling here by Fletcher. Made over as well. Excellent bowling here by Fletcher. 7 for 2. Trinidad and Tobago. Swan is 3 from 9. Cooper 2 from 19. Fletcher first over being bowler, made over, and really Windwards have an exceptional start here this afternoon in the second game of this T20 Blast West Indies tournament. Quiet days for Trinidad and Tobago, as you described it before. They have some quiet days, but they have a very senior team. They understand the cricket, so they would know that they have to build a partnership here. These 2, Cooper and Swan. But this lady with the ball in the hand has done the job so far for Windward. She's into her final over. Ross. So Ross in her final over. Full outside the off stump into the keeper's glove. She continues to bowl those dot deliveries.
She have been really dotting them up. This is her 18th dot delivery in this innings. This is really good. Not something that you would usually see in T20 cricket. But you can see it there, folks. 3.1 overs, 18 dots. This is really good. This is what you want from your bowlers at the top.
Trouble here. Misfield there in the covers. Could have been trouble for Trinidad and Tobago, but the feeling was a little bit atrocious there by the field at cover. I'll give you that name in a bit. But that could have been trouble here. Charles the fielder. That could have been some trouble here for Trinidad and Tobago if she had picked up. But that's cricket. That's how it goes at times. A single to Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, now 8 for 2. Cooper is on strike. This one is up. Full toss again. Basically a full delivery. Right in that crease. Just on the off stump. Nipping back. And the batters really find it difficult to negotiate or to play this medium fast bowler Ross. She has 3.3 overs, 2 means, 2 runs, and she has picked up 2 wickets. 222.
Well, so far this tournament, I'm guessing just chipping down the ground is Cooper. Just pushing it down to mid-off, just for 1. Could be 2 from the misfield here by Afi doing the backup. Comedy affairs outside, but just looking at the tournament, Martin, and you would like to see batters scoring in the power play or dominating the power play. The only team that have done that so far is the Leeward Islands, and that is from the bat of Joseph and Hector, who usually open the batting for the Leeward Island team. We see a glimpse of that from Guyana team, and that's from the bat of Grimman. So we still need to see more of that. Finding the edge this time is Cooper. Really good work by the keeper, Fontaine.
Yeah, excellent bowling again there by Ross, keeping it full, hitting the inner portion of the bat, squeezing out down to third man. Basically, fine like the keeper did the chasing and return. 11 for 2. We into over number 7. Final delivery for Ross. A really excellent spell by her. I can't ask for more than this. Nice day. The sun has pushed out through the clouds. It has opened up in all its glory. A good delivery outside the house. There's an appeal. Stifled one. That brings our spell to an end. Now that brings over number 7 to an end. It's 11 for 2. That's the end of the raw spell. She has bowled 4 overs, 2 means, 5 runs and picked up 2 wickets. Excellent start.
Yeah, definitely. Really, really good. Something good for Windwards, that is. But when you look at West Indies cricket, and let's just look at it from a cricket standpoint, you'd want to see teams be scoring better within that power play. I think the average score here for this tournament within the power play is somewhere around 22-17 or so. And that is because the Leeward Islands in 2 games have really scored well throughout the power play. But this has normally been the proceedings in terms of batting through the power play here in the regional women T20 Blaze. This is usually the score. A lot of teams haven't really dominated with the bat throughout the power play. Cherries with ball in hand now. First delivery, full toss. Hit straight to mid-wicket by Cooper.
Yeah, no dominance in the top order there from the batters. Leewards has shown the potential to really hit some balls over the top. That is led by Joseph, as you mentioned before. But we have not seen that sort of dominance from the batters up front, with those restrictions being in place, unfortunately, for this tournament. Cherry continues to bowl well. Quick single, throw comes back in, nobody backing up. 2-3 players reach to the 4th one who actually stopped it. And they take another single. So 12 for 2. Trinidad and Tobago win to over number 8. Rather sedated start here for Trinidad and Tobago. Windwards continue to do well here with Cherry bowling her first over in this inning. Cooper is down the track and driving straight to Joseph. Well fielded, preventing a run. They were looking for that run. But well done to Joseph. 7.4 overs, 13 runs, 2 wickets. Dot balls continue to plague this tournament. Not scoring enough runs off these deliveries. Short delivery, pulled through square leg, only finding the fielder there out there. Charles, who does the fielding. Throw comes back into Fontaine for another single.
It's surprising to me how they go about batting within that power play, because I could remember having a conversation in the last game with Mr. Cato, and we were wondering what are the plans coming out to bat as a batting unit from the coaches, because we're not really seeing a clear plan down the pitch. Missing it completely. We're not seeing a clear plan. Where batting is concerned is how are they going to approach the power play, their intent to score. We're not seeing that. But we're wondering if the bowling in the tournament is so good, or it's just that the batting is really the batting in the tournament has lost its way over the years.
Well, I do listen to your comments there, because we have not seen the quality of batters coming through. Basically, all the tournaments you have played for the West Indies so far, senior, juniors, now the ladies, you have not seen that quality play coming from these players. You have not seen that dominance from the top order batsmen in these tournaments. That is what we're looking for. At a T20 game, 8 overs have been completed, 14 for 2. And the wickets, as we normally say, don't have any devils inside of it. But some good bowling. Not taking that away from the Windward Islands. Ross bowled an exceptional spell, picked up 2 wickets. But at least somebody could be challenging these bowlers in this power play.
I can tell you one person who is challenging bowlers, Martin.
Joseph.
She really put on the beast mode this evening. Well, earlier, what we have seen from her is what we have grown accustomed to. But we see a change of end here for Afi Fletcher, coming from the administrative centre end.
Yeah, but she bowled such a lovely over from the back way end here. Let's see how well she goes here. Flip it across. Fletcher, first delivery. Short. This one is pulled with some power. Out to square leg. One bounce. Charles Fields. Return comes in. Picks up another single. So 1 run. Score moves up by 1 now to 15 for 2. Fletcher. First run being scored off her bowling. Fletcher continues to do well there for Windwards with the ball in hand. Flighted another dot delivery. Fletcher. Afi Fletcher out of Grenada. Not to show up the relations to Andre Fletcher. The A's. Ace in the pack. Fletcher. Good one on the leg stump. Just turned it nicely to square leg. She's off for 1. Still haven't seen that sort of running between the wickets between these ladies. Calling, looking for runs. We have not seen that wanting to score from these ladies as yet. Putting the pressure on the fielders. Knock it into the gap. Run hard. First one. Fletcher again short. Pulled out to mid-wicket. Joseph is there who does the fielding. So she has been a little bit too short in this over for me, Keswick. She bowled an excellent first over, but just a little bit too short in this over, Fletcher, from the end.
I was just wondering why the change of ends.
Yeah.
Bowling a beautiful over on the first one, but not a lot of damage done, even though she's a bit short.
It's better. Good delivery, that one. Just on the off stump. Causing her to drive a Swan. It's in the outer portion of the bat and running out to backward point. That's what you want to see from Fletcher. That's the line and length.
She have definitely shown her international quality. Down the ground is saw. Not really getting much connection, but misfield from Glasgow. Good show to the keeper. But a single. Something again that is plaguing the tournament is the feeling, the dot balls and the feeling. Just 2 areas of concern in this tournament, but it's the end of the over. A single to finish. The score is 18 for 2.
Yeah, 18 for 2 here at Harnesville. 9 overs completed, 20 runs on the board, 18 runs on the board. Fletcher, she has gone for 5 from 2. First excellent over she bowled. Cooper is not out on 9 from 27 deliveries. And her partner Swan is 7 from 19 as well. So a lot of dot deliveries being soaked up by these two. Cherry continues for Windwards. Full toss. Miss hit. Somebody's under it. Out caught. Really a bad delivery, and Swan got under it, tried to hit it over mid-wicket, hitting the edge and just ballooning to the person mid-off. It seems to be Fletcher who took that catch. It was James. And Trinidad and Tobago have lost wicket number 3. The wicket of Swan. She goes back to the pavilion, and Trinidad and Tobago have lost wicket number 3. And at this point in time, I'm seeing the third umpire just cruising in, coming onto the field. We normally have a water break at midpoint, so we will have this water break here as the score is 18 for 3. We will take a break here at Arnesville and return after the water break to continue coverage here in the West Indies Blast T20 tournament, women's tournament here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yeah, back here at Arnesville playing field, we continue describing the action here between Windward Islands and Trinidad and Tobago. Top of the table clash. Trinidad and Tobago leaders. Bottom of the table, Windward Islands looking for their first victory. Trinidad and Tobago want to continue their winning ways. They are 18 for 3. An excellent game so far from the Windward Islands. The bowlers have bowled really well and just lost that wicket of Shaw. Therefore, Trinidad and Tobago, as Cherry continues to bowl well, and Cooper has been joined by Mohammed, skipper for Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago in a spot of butter, 18 for 3. Good one being driven out to backward point. Keswick, your thoughts so far in these proceedings? Windwards versus Trinidad and Tobago.
I just think that when I look at the game, Martin, there's a lot of things that I could see that these teams can improve on.
This one is swept. Gets off a mark, Mohammed.
I don't want to take away from Windwards and their bowling and how they bowl short, their power play, or how they have bowled in this game. But still think that the intent to score runs is not there from the batters. We're not seeing any batter using their feet, trying to go over the top. Everything is hit, but when it's hit to a fielder. So they're only getting one. The skipper is out there now with Brittany Cooper. She would be one that would look to take on the bowling. Anisa Mohammed. We have seen that throughout the last game as well. When she came to bat with Cooper, she really take it on a bit. She's one that can use her feet well, sweep the ball, and look to hit boundaries. At least her intent is there to score. But a dot to finish here, the score is 20 for 3.
Yeah, and another thing that plagues this tournament is the dot deliveries. You have already had 60 deliveries bowled, at least, and only 20 runs. You have lost 3 wickets. You understand the situation, but still you have to remain positive. You have to look for runs. You have to look to score, and you have not seen that from the batters in this tournament. You have not seen the manipulation of the strike as well, running hard between the wickets. A few things that they could work on, as you mentioned. We have not seen those things present in the game amongst these players. And with that being said, I'll take my leave here, Keswick, as you've been joined by Alanson to describe the rest of the actions here between Trinidad and Tobago and Windwards.
Good day, Alanson. Good to have you back in the box.
Yes, good afternoon, Keswick. Good afternoon to all the viewers. Interesting opening exchanges here between the two teams. As mentioned before, quite a sedate start, not very adventurous in the opening 10 overs. The batsmen for the Trinidad and Tobago team, the batters for the Trinidad and Tobago team. Nor we haven't really seen that intent as we would expect during the power play. They do have 7 wickets in hand and 10 overs remaining, but it's an aspect of the game that you really want to see improvement, because you're competing against the world leaders in that aspect.
Well, this is Charles. First delivery, no ball. This is a debut tournament, I must remind you. First delivery on debut, picking up a wicket.
Yeah, that one was a bit too wide outside the off stump. But very importantly, it seems that she has gone over the line. So it would be a free hit to Cooper, something that probably Cooper could do well with, striking at just around 33. A very slow strike rate.
Not doing anything with that free hit.
Yeah, that can happen to you. If you're not in a positive mindset, then you can get yourself into a rut where even when you get a delivery that you can put away, then you're not really in position to do so, as you saw on that occasion from Cooper.
So far this tournament, the Trinidad and Tobago won their 2 first game. And I would say their bowling really proved that if you need to win this team, or if you need to win this team, you have to bat them out of the game. You have to score runs against their bowling. Their batting haven't really done much throughout this tournament. Yes, they have gone over the line, but their bowling and their captaincy by Anisa Mohammed, especially in that first game against Jamaica. Another wide delivery from Charles.
Charles just seems to be struggling just a little bit here. She doesn't want to let go of the pressure that has been built by the previous bowlers.
And the ground is Cooper, straight to the fielder at mid-off. Fielder there, Noel. But you can see a clear plan from Windwards, and I'm wondering now, Alanson, is it a clear plan from Windwards, or it's just that Windward batters playing their natural game?
I think they do have their two very attacking batters at the top in Hector and Keanu Joseph. Joseph also opens for the West Indies in the T20 games now, and goes with that same mindset, see ball, hit ball. Has been quite effective in recent past.
Slow one into the pitch from Charles.
Yeah, but as we mentioned before, it's a key element of the game that you'd want to see being explored and developed across the region, because if they want to compete against the Englands and the Australians and the Indias and so on of women's cricket, then that's an aspect of the game that has to be improved.
Yeah, definitely. Just wondering if it has to do with the structure of the cricket and what we have here in the Caribbean, or is it just a small decline in our female cricket over the years? This is a good shot from Anisha, cutting that one through point.
It's a very good cut shot. Got on top of it. Struck it away just square of the wicket. Not much power in the shot, but very good placement, which was a key. Able to get two. Well, we're talking about the structure and about it's something that's not just the women's cricket. I think it's just cricket in general, and maybe even some sport probably across the board. We need to have more people playing sport.
Again, nicely guided down to third man. It's really backward point.
Yeah, that looks like a pet shot for Anissa. Just waiting on that and cutting it. That was a late cut. The first one was a square cut, showing that she has a range of shots on that back foot in the offside. Yes, so we're just saying that we need to be playing a lot more cricket, whether it's the boys' games or girls' games at the school level. I think that the countries in the Caribbean that have been consistently playing school cricket, you're seeing it now at the higher level. I think we can't just assume that because you have some good players, whether female or male players, that then you would have a conveyor belt of good players just coming along. You have to put the work in to get persons involved, and so that the talent stays in the game as opposed to going somewhere else.
And when you really talk about cricket and world cricket, you even look at the male cricket as well, and the countries that are dominating in male cricket are the same countries that are dominating at the female level. This one badly lying on leg stump, sweeping his Cooper. Just holding up at the edge of the boundary, not getting enough legs to get there, but two.
It's good, strong throwing from Charles, keeping it to two. Yeah, it was on the leg stump. And so Cherry there, Nisha Cherry just erring in terms of her line, and she hasn't done that so far in the inning. She has kept it just about off stump.
Again on the line of leg stump, just sweeping again is Cooper. Just a single this time.
Yeah, that one was hit straight to her at square leg. Coming off the boundary was Charles. But just as you mentioned, you're just going on that leg stump, that midland leg stump area, just a bit too often. And I'm telling you, if she does that against Anissa, she will be sweeping her as well. A shot that both batters at the crease love to play.
Just a bit of change in feel here. Noel pushed back at long on, and Afi Hooper coming up at mid-off.
Slower and wider, signaled wide by the umpire. Interesting line given the change in the field, because nobody's back on the offside. So if she had driven that through the offside, they had a chance of getting a boundary. Slower. And she's looking to go through that offside as we predicted. That's right.
Usually a player that looks to score is Anisia. If you look at all the games that Trinidad played here so far. Not anything to really write home about, but the intent. That's what's important. Sweeping again.
Yeah, it's predicted. She does like the sweep shot. And previous delivery, she thought of the other option, which was going through the offside, seeing that no one is in the deep on the offside. So it's risk reward. She probably said, well, if I could get it through the gap, I'll get at least 2, maybe 4. And there's somebody there backward square leg, Charles on the sweep. So probably that's only one. Oh, and that's a wonderful delivery. Wow. As we would say here, sometimes it seems as if the stump just inhaled and pulled in its chest a little bit for that one to miss it.
Usually that off spinner, that GM delivery for off spinner, going through baton pad, but it missed everything, Kato. On top of the bounce this time is Anisha. A little bit of turn from Cherry as well.
Yeah, tall off spinner. She's getting some turn. Saw her in the warm-up. Has fairly good control. I haven't seen too many bad deliveries from her. And Zeta James as well. They have kept the ball relatively full on that off-stump line. And we're seeing Fletcher as well. After Fletcher, no need to introduce her. Wealth of experience at the international level as well. So their spin bowling resources seem to be quite solid in this game, the Windward Islands. And we saw the performance of Ross in that first spell. She did get that delivery, those deliveries to come back into the right hander, which is a deadly delivery even, well, for every level. It's a delivery that tends to trouble most right-handers. That one coming back in off the left arm's swing bowler.
Yeah, she really did bowl well. 20 dot balls, 48 dot deliveries in this game so far. This is a lot. Reminds me of that first game, Leewards against Guyana, 66 dot deliveries. In T20, that can kill you. Change of bowling from the airport end. We also call this the administrative center end. West Indies fast bowler Janelia Glasgow out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as well. Haven't really only picked up 1 wicket so far in the tournament, so she haven't really set the tournament alight. Plays for West Indies as well, so she need to do some work here for her team.
She starts off with this one. It's on the pad. Time for a sing. Oh, they take 2. That's excellent cricket there from the Trinidad team. Just a little bit of hesitation there from the wicketkeeper. Ball was already in her hand, but Cooper was determined that she was going to take 2, and so she did successfully.
Oh, sloppy cricket, Allenson. Just don't need those things to happen, especially when you have the locks on. You need to keep it on. You need to keep it locked down. The ball was in the hand, Kato. Down the leg side again is Glasgow. Diving effort from Fontaine. Cherry doing chase. That'll be 2 leg by.
The signal comes out from the umpire, standing umpire. Glasgow has to be careful here. She has started off on a line that is on the leg stump. She has to be mindful of the fact that the wind is blowing those deliveries, aiding that ball to come into the right-hander. So she has to start it just outside the off stump to end up around middle and off, as opposed to on the leg stump.
She usually gets the ball to tail into the right-handers. She just needs to start it a little bit more on the foot stump. Cooper giving herself a bit of room, going over extra cover. Want to get to the boundary. Tell you what, Kato. The amount of times that we have said that it wouldn't get to the boundary here in this box. If we're getting $1 for every time we say that, probably be rich by now, Allenson.
Yeah, it's slowish outfield. We didn't see that in the VPL. Of course, we are at the end of the day. We'll come back to it shortly.
Down the leg side again. She just needs to get it right. Something is off. Her radar is off. She just needs to get it right. Probably running a little bit closer to the stump.
She needs to do something because clearly she's pushing it down the leg side. Maybe she's falling away a bit in delivery. We don't know. I haven't seen the replay just yet. But she's clearly struggling in those first few deliveries to get the line that she needs to get around the off stump or outside.
Well, it's a change in field. Asking Noel to come off the long off boundary, come into mid off and putting in that fielder at sweep. And down the leg side again.
Clearly that was not the plan because they'd reinforce the offside. Didn't reinforce the offside. Did make that adjustment to the offside field and then bowl on the leg side. So doesn't really have anybody to blame but herself on that occasion.
She only have herself to blame here, Allenson, because you just asked for the offside field. It leaves the skipper to think you're going to bowl it outside the line of the off stump.
It's a better delivery from her, just around the midland off stump. So that's where she needs to be, Glasgow.
The field that was there before, I don't think the field was a problem. It was just her executing those deliveries. Again, short. Angling down the leg side. Just a single. Go straight to the fielder out there. Just Joseph. Also a Vincentian.
Yeah, so well executed pull shot there from Anissa Mohammed. Rolling her wrist over it, getting it down well in front of the fielder at the deep backward square leg boundary. So she has mounted a comeback of sorts in that over. And at the end of 13 overs, Trinidad and Tobago women, they are 44 for 3, having been inserted by the Windward Islands women. Cooper, she's receiving some treatment. Seems that she's not 100% out there in the middle. Something came out there for her. Some treatment from the 12th woman. And it would be Nisha Cherry to continue.
Not a bad spell here by Cherry. Good returns. This is a 4th over. And he said down the pitch over the fielder there at mid-off. Just 2. Not really getting a lot of bat onto that. But you could see the intent in her wanting to score, which is very important.
It's an area that has been inviting to her because they have left that area vacant over the offside. She's tried on a few occasions previously to go over the top on the offside And we see here, it seems as if Cooper, she cannot continue. It seems as if she's going to retire hurt. Is it? Yes. Seems as if she's going to retire hurt. The new batter is getting ready to come out. So this would be bad news for Trinidad and Tobago. She's already set in the wicket. But she seems to be struggling with some issue physically. Whether it is a sickness or maybe an injury. But seems to be struggling a bit. Has been the case for the last few overs or so. And so she will retire. And let's hope that all is well with her and that she recovers quickly. The Windward Islands have this opportunity now just to regroup and think about their position, their current position in this game. And with 7 overs, 6.4 to be exact, left in this innings, I think Trinidad will be thinking that they would want to get up to 100 there or thereabouts, or even beyond that. But the Windward Islands will be looking to try to restrict them perhaps around 80 or 70 runs based on the overs that they have remaining. However, to do so, I think they would need to continue to take wickets. So Kirby comes out to replace Cooper. Single there to Mohammed. So Cooper has retired out.
Well, this brings Kirby to the crease.
Experienced player Kirby.
Senior player in this lineup. Looking to use a long handle right away. But I was having a conversation the other day, Alanson, in regards to players and how long they have been playing this tournament. And I was told that the Knight sisters from Barbados started to play under 19 at the age of 9. Also, Stephanie Taylor played for Jamaica at age 11 in a senior tournament. So I was really surprised by it. Just wondering how the parents look at it, because if I have a child and she's the age of 9, I probably would have been scared to say go and play some cricket at the age of 9 or 10. Even 11, female cricket, that is.
Well, it will speak to the fact that they were good enough to be competitive with adults at that age. So it speaks volumes about the ability of the players to be in that competition at such a tender age.
Guess things might work out in Trinidad and Tobago favor. Kirby looking, you could see the intent to score. Leanne Kirby, that is.
Yes, the back cliff is high. She's looking to hit the ball hard. And you see Cooper really struggled during that innings. And it brings it over to an end after 14. It's 49 for 3. Trinidad and Tobago. 50 for 3 actually. So that last single brought up there 50 after 14 overs.
Well, they have to really use a long handle from now on. Not really seeing them using it against Fletcher though. Throughout this tournament have been bowling pretty well. Anissa Mohammed will know a lot about Afi Fletcher. Also to Kirby. I've been playing this cricket for a long time.
It's an interesting one, and I think I could see the merit in bringing her back now. She has quite a few overs left, and they would want her to get a few wickets really to go into the lower order of the Trinidad and Tobago team.
Haven't been really picking up the wickets, but very economical. This one just eased into the leg side by Kirby. Just a single.
Yeah,
And if it's one thing you would like about Afi Fletcher is the revs that she put on the ball as well. If we have the use of extra cameras here, you would have seen the revs that she put on the ball. You could have seen her approach to the crease. There you see it. There you see it, Allinson.
Lovely delivery. Pitching just around the off stump, biting and turning, bouncing away from Mohammed. Really a peach of a delivery there from Afi Fletcher.
I wonder what you would have done with that, Allinson.
Probably you just missed it, just like Anisa Mohammed.
Leg spin is truly an art. Truly an art. Sweeping is Anisa Mohammed, but not good enough. Not good enough. Afi Fletcher, after the delivery before, coming back and bowling another stunner. Picking up her first wicket into this game. Sweeping is Anisa Mohammed. LBW, she's gone. Afi Fletcher into the wickets.
Yeah, it was a dangerous shot because of the length. It was quite full. So even though Fletcher is getting some turn, it was always a shot that would be dangerous, and she was struck on the back leg attempting that sweep shot. So the umpire are judging that now to be struck in front, and the delivery will be going on to hit the stump. So a big wicket there for Afi Fletcher. I think it's just what the doctor ordered for the Windwards woman. As we said, when she came into the bowling, she probably has been brought back to take some wickets, and so said, so done. So the skipper has to go back to the hut. Samaru is the new batter. Comes out to replace our skipper.
Just looking at the field here now. Really spreading the leg side field. Not sure if she would really want to do that. Kirby trying to steal a single. I would probably bring up that square leg and keep it inside to prevent that single.
Yes, because you could see that that's the plan. Kirby wants to strike. Samaru is still new at the crease.
She's really doing a fine job here for her skipper, Zeta James. When you have such bowlers in your lineup, Afi Fletcher and Zeta herself, if they can pick up wickets for you early. Down the pitch is Samaru. Straight to the field at extra cover though. But it's the end of another beautiful over from Afi Fletcher. Just 6 runs, 3 overs. Picking up her first wicket in that over. Zeta James is looking like she's going to take the ball now. And rightly so.
Yes, and after 15, Trinidad and Tobago 51 for 5. 5 overs remaining. They'll be thinking of adjusting maybe their aim. They probably would have been aiming for over 100 maybe a couple of overs ago, but with the dismissal of Anisa Mohammed, they'll be thinking about probably 80, 85 would be a good result from here. But the Windward Islands, they'll be looking to restrict them probably to under 70 runs from this position. It's dropped. This one was struck in the air to the field at cover. Looks like, get to see who that is from here, but it was dropped. Mohammed was looking to get that one through the offside.
Reach out.
It's Kirby, sorry, was trying to get that through the offside.
This one is a full delivery. Missing out on that one again is Kirby. Trying to open those big shoulders, get some runs on the board. 51 for 5, Trinidad and Tobago. Windwards doing very well here with the ball. Just that missed opportunity a while ago. But they have done exceptionally well. Fletcher and the other bowlers has done exceptionally well. Samaru and Kirby at the crease. She's trying to get it over the top again. Good over being bowled here by James. No, she's bowled. She's played on. Another wicket goes. Trinidad and Tobago 51 for 6. Excellent bowling here by James, captain for Windward Islands, and really looking to open her shoulders, getting the inside edge and just rushing on to the stump. Wicket number 6 are falling.
It's an intelligent bowling there from James. She saw what was being attempted by Kirby. Just closing down that angle, not allowing her to really free those arms. She was looking to aim that over the long on or the mid-wicket region. And as you mentioned, just getting the inside edge onto the off stump. So they continue to pick wickets here, the Windward Islands. And James now, she has 1 wicket for 4 from 2.4 overs. So Fletcher picking up her first wicket in the previous over. 1 for 6 from 3 overs. So they have been in good wicket-taking form so far, the bowling attack for the Windwards women.
I don't think the bowling has any problems within this tournament. It's the batting that we are still struggling with. James continues, good bowling again, just on that line of the off stump. Tight bowling, skipper James from the Windward Islands.
So the new batter is Steffi Sugrim, replacing Kirby.
2 new batters at the crease. Turns at 1 to mid-wicket. Could be trouble here. My word, if she had picked up and thrown, that would have been trouble for Sugrim or Samaru. But there it goes. That's the end of the over. 52 for 6. We have completed 16 overs here. Cooper got 16, Mohammed 11, Swan 7, 2 for 5 Ross, 1 for 5 James, and 1 for 6 Fletcher. Good returns there.
Yeah, they have been the chief destroyers, and not only in terms of wicket taking, but they have been extremely miserly as well. So the Windwards are in a very good position, admittedly, at this point. But as you do mention, the batting so far in the tournament hasn't really set the world alight. But they will have to bat well in order to chase down whatever runs are made here by the Trinidad team.
Well, left to be seen. Still another 4 overs to go. Trinidad to get up to 80 or 90. Another 24 deliveries. And this brings Glasgow into the attack. Second over, this one is short down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. She needs to be careful how she carries out her duties here.
Yeah, we saw that from her in her first over. A lot of deliveries down the leg side, wide deliveries, or even deliveries on the leg stump. So she needs to get her line right. She needs to start them further outside the off stump.
She has a packed offside field. It's better line. Seeing James rushing in from mid-off. Well, short extra cover. 53 for 6. Sugrim, Samaru, Glasgow. Second over, 1 over, 7 runs. One is pitched up. Better delivery. This is trouble here. This would be trouble here. Oh, comedy of errors. This could have been easily done. Picked up and just lobbed it to Glasgow. She threw it. Glasgow found difficulty in gathering the ball. And another mistake on behalf of the Windward Islands. Just didn't gather it straight into her hands. Didn't catch it. And Glasgow should be very, very, very mad with herself there. It came into her hands. She should have gathered it and pulled the bails off.
Yeah, I don't think she could blame the fielder there, Charles, on that occasion. She did get it to her. In fact, she was very careful in getting it to her. She just lobbed it, and she didn't gather. So I think with a gather there, the batter Sugrim would have been short.
Yeah, way short as well. Glasgow again, this one is driving to covers, brilliantly fielded by that fielder coming around. Restricts them to 1. Trinidad keep pushing, keep looking for those runs. Samaru, Sugrim. 55 for 5. This one is hitting the inner portion of the bat. It runs out to backward square. She's crossed for 1. She's back for 2. Throw comes in from Joseph, who's been patrolling the mid-wicket boundary all of this game. So Windward Islands having a very good time so far on the field. Bowlers have done exceptionally well. From ball 1, they signal their intentions. This one is outside the off stump, driven to covers. Good throw here, could be trouble. Oh, misses those 3 pieces of stick. Backed up there. So some close calls here for the Trinidadian batters.
Yeah, if there's one fielder on the Windwards team that you don't want to be taking on is Zeta James. And I think there with a direct hit that would have been the end for Samaru, but all is well that ends well.
Were you there? This one is a one that's tripped in the offside. Oh, she misfields again. That is Charles in the middle there. Not really having the best time in the field there, Charles, and that could have been another one.
Well, I think what you're seeing from this pair, Sugrim and Samaru, is that they're prepared to run at almost every delivery. It's just 3 overs that remain after this one. So they're thinking to themselves, let's see how many we can get without much risk. But there's a risk in the running as well. So the fielders, I think, need to be on their toes and be looking out for that run-out opportunity.
Yes, we've just seen the stats here. 2 for 5 Ross, 1 for 5 James, and 1 for 6 Fletcher. If Fletcher comes back into it, I know it's James it is. Or it's Fletcher. Just looking. James continues to bowl here for Windwards. Volcanoes. Packed offside field. Square cover. Short extra cover. Cover. Mid off. Short mid off. Long on. Delivery just on the pads. Seems to be looking to tuck her up. There's a deep mid wicket, a deep square leg, short mid wicket, long on. Fielders are halfway in. This time he's driving sweetly. Through cover, she's back for. She's run 1, she's back for 2. That one came out of the middle of the bat really. Came off sweetly.
Seems to be a shot that she likes to play. Samaru, she advances down to the spinners and goes through the offside, inside out.
This one is again punching it to covers, picks a quick single, could be trouble, gets home safely again. Just didn't get that ball, James.
Yeah, the throw wasn't the best of throws. If I'd had to be bounced well in front of her or come to her on the full, in the end it was almost a half volley throw, which would be very difficult to gather coming in at that rate. So a bit of in between, half a dozen of one and 6 of the other in terms of the throw. I think that with a good throw that she would have been gone.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. Straight into the hands, that would have been a goner. James full delivery, looking to smash it down the road, picks up another single. Fletcher does the feeling. Good arm she has. James, final over here. Just conceded 9 runs thus far. Picked up that solitary wicket. Summer run strike. She's on 5 from 8. And Sukrim is her partner. She's 6 from 7. Looking to score off everything here. This one she's chipping coming in. This is trouble here. And it seems to be like Joseph, she wasn't assured, but then she was called. Run out. Some dispute there in the middle between these two. Was struck straight to Joseph. Had easy task. Just lob it back into the bowler. and that was a goner. So I think someone would have to go.
Yeah, she's already walking off because the other batter, Sugrim, had crossed by the time the bails were removed. So Samaru dismissed there. A bit of confusion between the two. Sugrim coming through for the single, Samaru on move. I think she took a few steps initially, and that probably caused that level of doubt as to whether the single was on. But I think that it seemed as if what we were seeing from them in the previous over is that they were running on everything. So probably that is what Sugrim had in mind.
Well, they probably two of them had the discussion that we were running on every delivery, and it kind of slipped Sugrim's mind that we are trying to get as much runs as possible. We have to be on the lookout. But Samaru was committed to that, and unfortunately, she has to go back to the pavilion, run out. 63 for 6.
Yeah, admittedly, it was
Suicidal.
not a single.
Suicidal.
Yes,
it was suicidal from the start. It was suicidal from the start, really not a single. As James continued to plug away here for Windwards. This one is hit high into the hands of the fielder. Charles takes the catch this time. Sugrim goes back to the pavilion. Trinidad have lost wicket number 7. 17.5 overs bowled. They are 63 for 6. Windwards doing exceptionally well.
It's intelligent delivery there, I would say, from James. Slow and outside the off stump, not giving her any pace to work with, and also it was turning further away. So with the turn, it just went further away from the middle of the bat, and that edge took it to the fielder there coming in the backward point region. Charles coming up with the catch. At the dismissal of Samaru, which was the previous dismissal, it brought back Brittany Cooper to the crease. So she has been there now for a couple of deliveries after retiring earlier in the innings. She still seems to be going down to the ground quite often to stretch and to gather herself. So whatever it is that is ailing her seems to still be there, Kenroy.
Well, it doesn't disappear overnight. Probably takes a couple of magic spray to get rid of this one, but Cooper is taking strike. She's 16 from 40. Fletcher comes in, she's bowling a beautiful leg spinner that turns and beats the batter and also the wicket keeper. Waiting for the signal from the umpire, signal by the umpire.
Yeah, Fletcher has really looked impressive. She does look the part at this level. She looks like she's from the level above this level, which is what you want to see from your international players. Yes. Really giving a lot of headaches to the batters and the teams that she has come up against.
Yeah, that leg spin has really pitched today and turn and bounce from Fletcher. Trouble with everybody she bowled against today. Continues to do well for the Windward Islands. Top player she is. Beautifully flighted, delivery in the air. Misjudging that one coming in from backward point. This is trouble. And she runs two. There's a lot of appeal for a run out, but I think she makes it. So 2 easy runs there to the batters, takes up the score to 65. Error on the fielder's part.
Yes, Ramnath able to get 2 runs there. You saw when you're fielding, especially against the spin bowler, you say look out for that second bounce. And she was deceived there at backward point, coming in with the line of the ball, but then the bounce got some turn to go behind, even further behind square.
Yeah,
defeated her. And be able to sneak 2 runs. Good running from Trinidad and Tobago.
That's Fletcher. He has 1 for 8. This time she's trying to beat her through the onside, but Fletcher is equal to the task. Does her feeling of her own bowling. Ramnath, 2 from 2. This looks like a googly. Oh, yes, it is. She's out stump. Saw it from the back of the hand. Looks like the googly. It was the googly. Fletcher picks up a wicket. She's out stump. Wicket number 8 goes easy peasy.
Yes. Wonderful bowling there from Fletcher. Really flummoxed Ramnath. He was looking to go over the onside, playing for that leg spin. She has been getting the ball to turn prodigiously into the left hander and away from the right hander. So looking for that was Ramnath. and really missed that googly by several inches and was stumped easily by keeper Fontaine.
Yes, and just to let you know, she has that in her repertoire. Fletcher, experienced cricketer from Grenada. She has really come a long way over these years. One of the fierce competitors in the West Indies women's team. With stumping there by Fantana, wicket keeper. That was easy. Out of Dominica, have good hands and glove work as well. Brilliantly done. Fletcher, she has 2 for 8. Final 2 deliveries from her. Trinidad and Tobago 68, 66 for 8. Cooper is still there on 16 from 40 deliveries, 41 deliveries. So 2 deliveries to go. 2 wickets to fall here for Trinidad to be bowled out. Fletcher. Flighty delivery played sweetly down to mid-on. One of the better shots I've seen for the day. So Cooper comes back on strike. She's looking to go. It's in the air. Would she take the catch? It drops short of the field at short extra cover. That's skipper James, who made a brilliant effort to get to that one. Fell short. That brings you over to an end. 68 for 8. 19 overs been bowled.
Yes, and it leaves Fletcher with a spell of 4 overs. 2 for 9, so an incredible spell there from Affley Fletcher. Yeah. And it was just probably just a hair's breadth, as you will say, away from getting 3 wickets. Excellent effort there from James, but just unable to get to it in the end.
So the final over would be bowled by, seems to be Glasgow. Cooper, from our vantage point, seems like she haven't recovered fully as yet. Still stooping. 16 from 41. So Cooper would be on strike for the final over. Glasgow. Full delivery, Yorker length, dug out by Cooper. They have gone for 1. Looking for a second. No, I don't think that is on.
Yeah, it's a very good delivery by Glasgow. Starting off on a better foot, you would say, than what she was executing from the other end. So maybe the change of ends will do wonders for her.
This one is straight through her. There's a loud appeal. Matter says the umpire, but that was a beautiful delivery there by Glasgow. Went through, right through the bottom part of Ramnath. Again, Ramnath just turns up onto middle, gets straight to Charles, who feels there. Another single. 69. This one is a slow delivery. Cooper looking to swing that one to mid wicket. She's calling for 1. She's going back for 2. Not the best of throws. And they pick up 2 more runs here. The Trinidadians moves up now to 71. 71 for 8. It's Glasgow. Slower delivery again. Straight back fielded by her. Good athleticism there. Glasgow. Looking to finish up things here. Glasgow, wide outside here of Sumphrey trying to get to it. Well bowled by Glasgow. That's the end of the over. And that's the end of the Trinidadian innings, I think. So at the end of the innings is 72 for 8, Trinidad and Tobago. Just to run back over the batting cards, Cooper got 20 from 47, Mohammed 11 from 17, Swan 7 from 20. Bowling for Windwards, we had Ross 2 for 5, James 2 for 9, and Fletcher 2 for 10. So some excellent returns for the bowlers. It's a time now that batters would talk here for the Windward Islands. They have not won a game in this tournament thus far. This is a good time to do so. Trinidad 72 for 8. We'll be right back to bring you the second half of this game between Trinidad and Tobago and the Windward Islands Volcanoes here at Annisvale in the Women's T20 Blast here in Annisvale. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Annisville Playing Field, where we're here on gridlock between Trinidad and Tobago, the leaders on the points board, and the Windward Islands, who are at the bottom, who has played on a very good half so far in this tournament, in this game, third game. Getting the better of Trinidad so far. Really now their batters have to go and do the job. And we're here to bring you live coverage of that. And with me is Keswick Williams. Keswick, welcome back, on your thoughts on the first half of this game so far.
Something that we become accustomed to. The low scores in this tournament, but this team here, Trinidad and Tobago, is a team that normally bowl well throughout this tournament. Anisa Mohammed is with ball in hand. She will have a thing or two to say. So they're not out of the game as yet. Haven't really done a lot with the ball, but they're bowling throughout this tournament. Seriously dominated. Early. Anisa Mohammed into the wickets. First delivery onto the pads of Fontaine. Fontaine only finding the fielder at short mid-wicket. Easy catch for her.
Well. The Windward started this way, and Trinidad and Tobago, led by their captain Anisa Mohammed, starts similarly. First ball, first wicket, they are none for one. Cricket, the game of glorious uncertainty. Simple catch. First wicket goes back for the Windward Islands. Fontaine goes back. My word. Look at the game. Trinidad and Tobago versus the Windward Islands. Windwards have not won a game in this tournament so far. Trinidad and Tobago, they have bowled exceptionally well, especially their spinners, and they have kept things rather tightly. Skipper Mohammed starting proceedings here. First delivery, picking up that first wicket of Fontaine. Windward Islands needs a partnership here between these two.
Really good energy, coming out with the energy. Looks like they are the one who finish with that momentum, Martin. Really good work from Anisa Mohammed. First delivery, picking up the wicket. Zayda James, a captain, is out early. I'm pretty sure she wasn't expecting to be in the middle this early, but she's there, and she has to try to take a team home. They haven't won a game as yet. They're on home soil. Trinidad looking to pick up their third victory in this tournament.
So one on the leg stump. Skipper just turning it to square leg. So Mohammed deciding to take charge of proceedings here. Trinidad and Tobago. And the Windward Islands locked here. Locked in battle here at Annisville. Tight game this is. Top of the table. Trinidad and Tobago. Windwards, who have not scored, have not played the cricket that we expect them to play here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Mohammed, another delivery. Wide signal by the umpire. First, one on the board for Windwards. Ill-directed ball there by Mohammed, looking for a little bit too much, pitching on the leg stump, and continued in that trajectory. Flighty delivery, turn to square leg. Again, into that area. So good start here by Mohammed, keeping the pressure on Zayda James and the Windward Islands. Small total. Much to play for.
Usually you'll see Joseph at the top for Windwards.
Trouble, brilliantly done. Call for a dive. She dove. She got in. Skipper James, and really a tight run there between these two. So Mohammed dove. Well, brilliantly done there by Skipper James. Running for all her worth. Mohammed had wrung the wicket. Flighted. This one is hit back down the ground. That would have the legs to go for 4. It does. Into the fence for 4. Good shot. Good boundary. And that has break the shackles here at Annisville. Good shot.
Nicely played. She's one of the young players in this tournament that I'm looking at. Usually gets starts, not carrying on is Crafton. Looks like a complete player. Hits the ball well down the ground, sweeps the ball well. She has a good offside game as well. Well played by Crafton. They just need her to stay there with skipper Zeta. But it's a dot to finish.
So Windwards need another 67 runs, yeah? So Crafton and James at the crease. Mohammed just bowled a solitary over. She has 1 for 6. Really interesting game here. Crafton is on 4. James is on 1. 6 for 1. This is going to be a battle between these two teams, a ding-dong battle between these two teams. Windwards looking for their first victory. Trinidad looking for their third to keep ahead of things here in this tournament. And the third round of games here in this West Indies T20 Women's Blast in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, played on the auspices of the West Indies Cricket Board. New bowler, Sugrim. Number 7 on the back. Trinidad spinners have done well for them. Left arm around the wicket. Flighted and Jim just punches it to that fielder short mid-off. Sorry. Cover. Strong offside field. Still in the power play. Good one. He's out caught. Flighted outside the off stump. She went for the cut, and James is marching back to the pavilion. She's out caught. Ball Sugrim at first slip.
Into the wickets, it's Sugrim. She picked the ball up, and she's doing just what a skipper asks her to do. Usually picks up wicket in the power play for her team. Ever since this tournament started, could have only find the edge. It's Zeta straight to the fielder at slip. Skipper, that is. Anisia Mohammed. Bucket hands, you call her in Trinidad. 2 wickets down in the power play. This is not looking good for the Windward Island team. You don't want to lose wickets in the power play. As long as you lose 2 or 3 wickets in the power play, you're already behind the 8 ball. You're sort of playing catching up cricket. They do have some work to do. Looks like Afi walk into the crease. Afi Fletcher, the senior player in this team. She needs to stay there. She needs to put some work in to get her team behind the line. Trying to get her first win here is Windward Island team.
Well, you have bowled well. Your batters need to come and back you up here. They have lost 2 wickets so far. Trinidad and Tobago into their second over. Sigrim, third delivery. This one is outside. She's out caught again. Looking to drive outside the off stump. Bucket hands at slip. Out caught by the skipper. Wicket number 3. They are 6 for 3. Windward Islands. In reply to Trinidad and Tobago, they are 6 for 3.
We spoke about Trinidad and Tobago and their bowling. How dominant they are throughout this tournament. They squeeze you as a bowling attack. Sort of take the air out of your body. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Another delivery by Sugrim outside the line of the 4th stump. Driving. Easy catch from the skipper. Bucket hands, they call her in the team. Anisia Mohammed. She's probably the oldest player in the team. But no way she looks like the oldest. Remember in that first game, she was running from deep mid-wicket to mid-wicket, showing that she still have a lot of life in her. Really doing a fine job. She's captaining the team well. She's feeling well. And whenever she comes out to bat, she's really just playing a complete cricket match every single game for the Trinidad and Tobago team.
And what is very important in this game as well, the team is playing in accordance with what is happening. They are making their plans based on what is happening. They are playing a pretty tight game here. Sigrim and the skipper are the two main bowlers in the team. They have not scored a lot of runs, and immediately they took the new ball and they have caused havoc so far in the Windward Islands batting. They are 6 for 3. And here we have Crafton still at the crease. She has 4. And the new batter, we'll get that name for you soon as possible. It's Sigrim outside the off stump is punched to covers. They're gone for 1. Glasgow is at the crease. They're looking for 2. So 2 comfortable runs there between Glasgow and Crafton. Carries the score to 8. So what an entertaining start here for this second half of this game between Trinidad and Tobago and Windward Islands.
Glasgow, she's definitely on a mock with the bat. She's really good with the bat. We saw her on few occasions, even at the international level.
Sigrim flighted delivery outside the off stump, squeezes the inner edge. How close that is here. The oohs and the ahs have gone up around the stumps there. Close. Very close. Success for Sigrim. 2 wickets, consecutive deliveries. Skipper James went first. Flighting outside the off stump. She drives. My God, that is close to the stumps. Inner edge. And just bounces past the stump. Brings it over to an end. It's 8 for 3.
Really good first over from Sigrim. Usually she picks up wicket in the power play. And this is the reason why Trinidad and Tobago have been coming out on top. All these games, their bowling is a sight to see. Crafton is still there. She haven't really set the tournament alight, but looking at her approach to the game, her intent to score, she just needs to put some runs under her belt.
Today would be a good day for that. Windwards needs that. Crafton is cutting. Hitting the outer portion of the bat, is running down to third man. She's gone for 1. She's back for 2. Good running between these 2 youngsters here from Windward Islands. Mohammed probably thinking I need to get a little closer to those stumps. Too much width on offer. And Crafton making absolute use of that. 2 runs to her, 2 runs to Windwards, 10 for 3. Over number 3, bowled by the veteran Mohammed out of Trinidad and Tobago. Lisa Mohammed. Fantastic player she is. It's a good delivery, straighter one. She's like a beast on that field, Amnisa Mohammed. She doesn't let up. She leads her team in every situation. Very impressive. Very knowledgeable cricketer as well.
I played a long time for West Indies. So she understands the game.
This one is short. Pulled straight to the man at mid-wicket. Another wicket goes. Crafton goes back to the pavilion. Trinidad is having a fun time here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Seems to be carnival here already.
Well, it's the usual suspect, Anicia, picking up a second wicket straight to Sigrim as well, the fielder. Really good work here from Trinidad. We mentioned their bowling. Their bowling is a sight to see. Straight to the fielder out there at mid-wicket. Sigrim, easy. As my niece will say, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Another wicket for Trinidad. The celebrations is going crazy out there, Martin.
The land of Calypso. I'm telling you, man, it seems like cuckoo singing here. Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, it's one of my Calypsonians here. Mass in the hospital.
Well, I'm wondering what we eat here in
cemetery.
in
My
the
word.
Windward Islands, Martin. We know that Guyana and Trinidad have this battle going on with the chicken curry and curry chicken. But so far, I'm not sure what we eat here mostly in the Windward Islands, but I'm pretty sure that the curry chicken is in charge now.
Okay. Well, there's some dalapri too. Watch itself. Curry. Some doubles. Some liquid refreshments as well. Some Mohammed. Packed offside field. Everything saving one. Brings Joseph on strike. First delivery. Glasgow is still there on 2. Windwards 10 for 4. Good delivery to start proceedings. Joseph punches that one to short extra cover. Similarly built.
Well, it's a 2 Vincentian at the crease now. If there's a time that the need to score runs would be today, they need to give Windwards that first victory. They're on home soil. Well, it's a dot to finish here. The score is 10 for 4.
Well, a great job so far from Trinidad and Tobago. The bowlers have come to the fore. Anisa Mohammed and her partner Sigrim have picked up 4 wickets between them each. And I'm telling you, Trinidad and Tobago is on a high right now. Yes, they have made a poetry score, but their bowlers have brought them through every situation so far in this tournament, and they continue to do that. But Glasgow and Joseph would be looking to deny them today for the Windward Islands. It's Sigrim in our 3rd over. Flighty delivery driven straight back by Glasgow. That one came out of the middle of the bat, but found the feeler. Still have to find those gaps. Get your singles, turn it over. 1s and 2s. Won't hurt at this point. You have lost 4 wickets so far. The big shots. One is just sliding outside the off, something to the keeper's glove. The young wicket keeper of Trinidad. Tight. Everything is tight here. Runs hard to get. Wickets are falling. Joseph, that's Glasgow cuts and misses again outside the off stump. Good intelligent bowling here by Sigram.
Not looking too well, the dugout for the Windward Islands. Few smiling faces before their innings started. Not really seeing any now. Brings me back to that question that I was asked a couple of days ago by Kato. As in the approach to how these batters want to score in the power play between that 6 and 15 over or so. Not seeing a clear intent to score. Not all the batters, but you can actually count the batters on your hand, on one hand that is, who have agreed for scoring, which is good.
Well, that brings the over to an end. A maiden over bowl here by Sigram. She has bowled two overs so far, 2 wickets for 2 runs. Trinidad and Tobago having the Windwards on the fence here, as we would say, in some serious trouble here. 10 for 4. They're looking for another 63 runs from 16 overs. I know how things have changed. Trinidad and Tobago, they got 72 for 8 in their 20 overs. But this 72 seems to be a mountain to climb here for the Windward Islands. Shouldn't be that way, but it's based on the tournament that is being played there. We have not seen much from the batters. But Joseph is on strike for the Windwards. She needs to come good today. New bowler, Ramnath. There's a stifled appeal on the leg stump. Always going down. Off spinner.
She's another talent that I think with given time that transition into West Indies senior team would be a bit easy for her, knowing that she is the captain for the under-19 team, and you're seeing a lot of good things from her in this tournament as a bowler, as a batter. Looks correct. Just need to add some power to her game, and that will come with time.
This one, she's hitting it back past Ramnath. Doesn't beat the field at long on. Maidan, who does the fielding, picks up a single Joseph. 11 for 4, Windward Islands, looking for 73. And it's an uphill task from here on in. These two batters need to come good for the Windward Islands. Two Vincentians at the crease. They know the wicket best. But the situation dictates Keswick.
Yeah, definitely.
This one is a slider. She's looking to cut, but that leg is outside the leg stump. Keswick has to be careful with that delivery coming from around the wicket.
Yeah, just looking at the amount of dot balls now being accumulated by the Windward Island batters. We saw that in the first innings from Trinidad. Now we're seeing it from the Windward Islands. Glasgow just giving herself a bit of room, punching it behind point. Diving effort from Joseph.
Yeah, as you said, she's giving herself a lot of room outside that leg stump and punching the ball through backward point area and picking up another single. Has to be careful with that as well. Coming from around the wicket is Ramnath. But Joseph is now on strike. There's a deep mid-wicket. Everybody else saving a single in the circle. This one is pitched up outside here at some point for a big shot over mid-off. That brings you over to an end. So, after 5 overs, it's 12 for 4 here at Arnesville in the second game in this West Indies T20 Blast Women's Tournament here at Arnesville. Trinidad and Tobago versus the Windward Islands. $12 for 4, 5 overs completed. As I take my leave, Alanson Cruikshank will take my seat. He will take in the hot seat. Windward's in the hot seat right now. They are 12 for 4, looking for 73.
Yes, thank you very much, Kenroy. It's more than the hot seat for the Windward Islands. You'll see that they're right in the frying pan or in the fire. The wickets have tumbled. Samaru being introduced to the bowling. Good afternoon to you, Keswick. Good afternoon to our viewers.
Well, they're in complete control, Trinidad and Tobago. The good thing about it is that they're bowling a lot of dots. They're creating pressure. This is the 6th over. Just 12 runs.
Good shot there from Glasgow. Should get 2. See that she's determined to stay leg side of these deliveries and punch them through the offside. It's a method that is fraught with some danger. Quicker one can find a LBW or even bowled.
The danger about doing that again, Alan, is giving yourself room to an off spinner that is bowling around the wicket. And someone that uses the angle as well is Samaru.
This one is in the gap again. Should have time for the second. No. Sent back is Joseph. I think this is a better decision that was made in the end. So 2 more to Glasgow. The run rate that is required, it's not exorbitant, but the issue with the Windward Islands is that they have lost 4 wickets. 4 of their more accomplished batters are in the hut. So what will be required is for this middle order pair and those in the lower middle order, those right down to number 11, to contribute to this game today. If they are to win, everyone has to contribute.
Yeah, they definitely need all hands on deck today. They will need all batters to fire if they do have a chance to come at the crease. Joseph and Glasgow is at the crease now. Joseph is cutting behind point. Just a single.
It's not a bad shot, not a bad option there from Joseph. A little bit quicker pair between the stumps, may have gotten 2 or threatened for 2. But I think they made the right decision to keep it to 1, because I don't think Joseph would have gotten the back. So at least in this over, they have started to get the scoreboard moving along. They Windward Islands women. That's the delivery that I'm talking about. And it's not only that she's staying leg side, but she's staying with her 2 feet together. So not much movement in terms of being on the balls of the feet to go forward or back.
LBW in the last game, in similar fashion, trying to give herself room. Ball hitting the pads. She was giving LBW. Dot to finish.
Yes, at the end of 6 overs, 16 for 4. Windward Islands walking women. They require another 57 runs from 14 overs at 4.07 runs on over. So it's not out of the realms of possibility. But again, the key thing is that they have lost 4 wickets. And the Trinidad and Tobago, really, they are large and in charge here at Arnesville in this fixture after having scored 72.
Well, already 27 dot balls in this innings. This is the 6th over. That's a lot of dot balls, Allenson.
Yes, that means that's 27 out of 36 deliveries.
Cutting this time is Joseph over the field at cover. Challenging the boundary. Wouldn't get there. Bad show. Not good work there from Ramnath.
Yeah, it was a good shot there from Jafina Joseph. She rocked back, cut it over the top of the offside ring of fielders. Was able to get 3 due to the overthrow.
Yeah, giving up an extra run there is Ramnath. We mention over and over something that is plaguing this tournament is the dot balls. Females not being able to find the gap. At some point, they're hitting the ball with good power, but sometimes straight to a fielder. So a lot of these batters, they are not picking the gaps. Something I think these coaches need to work on with these batters. Because you must find some way to improve.
So this wide on the leg side should have time for at least 2 wides. Joseph seems to be putting in the big ones in terms of the big gulps of air. Seems to be a bit tired. So 2 wides, 1 for the run, 1 for the delivery.
Looking like she's looking for air as well, Allenson.
Well, one of the things that she could have done is to go down and have a chat with her batting partner just to catch her breath.
Yeah, looking a bit exhausted. I can tell you that.
Maybe after the 3 that they just ran. Yeah. This one is beating the field at their backward point. They would not go for 4. They should have time for 2 at least. Comfortable 2 in the end. Misfield there from the fielder. So some more runs to the total. Again, this pair very important for the Windward Islands if they are to get anywhere near the score for that Trinidad have put up on Trinidad and Tobago have put up on the board.
Yeah, just the feeling as well is something that we need to look at as well. Saw that in the last game. Lee was Jamaica game. Shout from Ramnat. Umpire on move. But it is something that we need to look into, Alanson, is the feeling as well in this tournament. We saw in the last game, Jamaica Leeward's game, especially in the back end, that last over. The feeling, I think, cost them that game. So coaches have a lot of work to do. Glasgow giving herself a little bit of room. Too much this time. Ramnat hitting the stump as hard as ever. She's gone. The partnership that we think that was coming along, Ramnat has decided to break it.
Yeah, and that's something that we spoke about very early, the amount of room that she's given and that she's not really coming across at all, even when the line is outside the off stump. So you might give yourself room initially, but then you have to make the adjustment when the ball is delivered. So she's still leaving that large space between bat and pad. And that's just an area there left for the ball to have an avenue to get to the stumps.
Yeah, it is something that I realized with her as well. She moves pretty late and she doesn't move into the ball. She moves away from the ball. So that back leg, instead of coming inside, it goes back. So she's giving herself room. But this time looking like she gave herself too much room. And then she's giving herself room with the bat away from the pad. Leaving that space between bat and pad. She was LBW in the last game. Didn't score. Not really troubling the score much this time as well. 9 of 20 deliveries. It's Glasgow. She's gone. Trinidad and Tobago really biting into this batting lineup here for the Windward Islands. The score is 24 for 5.
Brings Anisha Fontaine to the crease.
Look at the bowling lineup there for Trinidad. 2 for 8, 2 for 2, 1 for 10. All bowlers bowling 2.
Steffi Sugrim so far the pick of the bowlers with 2 for 2 from 2. All doubles. Trinidad and Tobago team will be happy with that.
They love the doubles. They will be pretty happy with that. It's a doubles fiesta.
Maybe some Kurap doubles or something from Arima.
You sounding like you know what you're talking about, Alanson. What are you doing when you're in Trinidad?
Studying.
I don't believe you. If you know about the Kurap doubles, you're out and about.
Joseph tries to go over mid-off. She is dismissed. Another wicket there. This time to Samaru, who now comes on the board in terms of wickets. And the Windward Islands women's team there in all sorts here at Arnesville, attempting to chase just over 72 runs, I think. And they're now 24 for 6.
Well, Shalini Samaru is in the wickets now. The celebrations is all over the place. Zafina Joseph is walking back. Just 5 runs off 8 deliveries. The score is 24 for 5 now. They're really staring down the barrel of defeat here.
Yeah, it seems as if it could be over quite quickly. They may struggle to bat the 20 overs. And this has been something, particularly for the Windward Islands team in this tournament, a big area of concern is their batting. I think when they were at the bowling crease, they did bowl fairly well. They seem to have good bowling plans and executed well enough. But the batting really seems to just be all over the place. Looks like Leo is the new batter who comes out to replace Joseph. Noel. comes out to replace Joseph. So Samaru starting her second over with a wicket. 24 for 6. Yes, I'm saying it correctly. And your screen is not giving you some type of deluded view. It is 24 for 6 here at Arnersville. And really, you could tell who is in charge of this game because Trinidad and Tobago, they're bowling in the 7th over and there's only one field outside of the circle. That tells us what we need to know. So wide delivery down the leg side. Should have time for 2. Yes, Noel completes it, so it should be 3 in all. The extra and the 2. Just wait on the signal. Was there a signal of wide from the umpire? Or did he signal byes? Samaru again. This time swept. That should challenge the boundary. Gets there now. So that's 4 runs to Noel. Bad delivery there from Samaru and duly punished.
Yeah, the delivery before she bowled it wrong and it was badly lined on the leg stump. She came over. Still delivered on the line of the leg stump, which would be easier for Noel to play that behind square leg for 4. Nice shot from her.
30 for 6 in the 8th over. Drives that one nicely, but doesn't find the gap. And you mentioned something as they overcome and then 30 for 6 the Windward Islands. You mentioned, Keswick, that the gap finding is an issue, and it's not been an issue just in this tournament, and not just for the women who are involved in this tournament, but also you say that for the men's team, for quite a few of the players, even the top order batsmen, do have that issue of the dot deliveries building up against them and that difficulty in finding the gaps. Of course, we remember the great BC Lara. He was probably the best in recent times at finding gaps around the field. But even players like Carl Hooper, Shanda Paul, these are players, risky players, good at maneuvering the ball around and getting singles. Asawan played more and more ODIs as well. He ended up being one of the best at that as well. So this is something that this generation of players, they have to pass on to both the men and women involved in the game today.
Speaking of all those players, the modern day cricket as well, I know of one player that picks the gap pretty well. Nicholas Pooran. He just hits them over the boundary.
Yes, for the most part.
That's where the gaps are. 6.
I tell you what, I don't know if Nicholas Pooran wants to play Test cricket, but it would have been interesting to see him come up against the best of the best in the best format.
Definitely something I would like to see.
As Leanne Kirby comes into the bowling attack, vastly experienced.
Bowl a really nice spell in the last game here. Kirby picked up a few wickets as well. They will definitely want her to finish things off.
Shot there from Fontaine gets her a single to get her off the mark. 31 for 6.
Yeah, they will definitely want her to finish things off. It's Kirby. She did a fine job in the last game, picking up a few wickets at the right time as well. Bowling her pace, bowls her slow ball really well. Disguise it well.
Wide delivery on that occasion. Yeah, seems to mix up her pace a lot. takes the pace off the delivery more often than not.
But that's what you want from these senior players in this team. Anisia Mohammed, Kirby, they have been in the team for a long time. Brittany Cooper. Anisia obviously lead that spin unit. Brittany Cooper leads the batting. And then Kirby, the fast bowling unit. And so far, they have been doing pretty well. All three players. Setting an example down the ground is Fontaine. Just a single. Sugrim running around that. Cause another run.
No, she's not shaping too badly. She's batting at number 8, but she's not shaping too badly. Maybe she's vying and probably saying to the coach, I could bat a little bit higher.
How much time have we seen that? Batters in the low order come and show some potential, and then you put them up in the order, and then you're wondering, where did that batting potential went?
Should have time for 2. Doesn't time it well, but gets it over the fielder there at mid-off. And 2 is all there will be as the throw comes in. So again, Noel keeping her side in this game with some hope. Again, I think what for the Windward Islands, they need to not get bowled out and they should be able to win the game. But then having lost 6 already in the 9th over, then that's a tall order. Excellent attempt there from the fielder. Cooper at mid-off, diving attempt, just couldn't get to it. It would have been a magnificent catch. Ends the 9th over with the score on 38 for 6 after 9.
Yeah, really good stuff from her. Anisia Mohammed doing a fantastic job. Just would like to see someone like a Sugrim coming back to bowl. Probably tight things up a little bit more. Only 2 overs, picked up 2 wickets. So with these 2 batters at the crease, probably the last pair. And just what the doctor ordered. Sugrim is with ball in hand. I guess she's listening.
Yeah, you cannot just allow them to get away here because some momentum has actually come into the Windward Islands innings in the last over or 2. Mainly due to the intent to score shown by Noel. And she's not swinging for the hills. She's just playing on the merit of the delivery.
And if they do that and bat all the overs, they clearly would win the game. You just don't need to lose another wicket.
Sugrim will have other ideas. This one outside the off stump, pulled by Noel. Again, what I'm noting as well is that that's a pull shot that she just executed, but she pulled it on the ground. We saw a short delivery from Anisia Mohammed that was pulled in the air to the field at deep mid-wicket by Crafton earlier. Not the easiest place to get a 6. We saw a 6 hit over that area by Kiana Joseph, but that's a different type of power.
Yeah, not a lot of females hit 6 in that region. Saw one from Grimman earlier in the tournament. And Kiana Joseph, well, that's a different kind of power, as Alanson mentioned.
Excellent feeling there from Cooper. That's something that she's known for. Very good in the field.
Yeah, very agile. She's one of those players that will dive around the field. She usually feels at point. And in the backing of the innings done at mid-wicket. Or the long off or long on.
Sugrim into her 3rd over. So far has only conceded 3 runs, taken 2 wickets. Pulled for a single down to long on. So again, that's all they need to do. The required run rate is actually 3.3. Earlier we saw Marceline, she was dismissed without scoring. Crafton also went pretty early, as we mentioned, caught at deep mid wicket.
Noel is the only batter to get into double figures today. Apart from that, no other batter have really shined in the way that the Windward Islands would want them to. 2 ducks in the innings as well. Coming across the line, trying to sweep. No connections. Noel, wide delivery from Sugrim.
Yeah, so 2 runs to the score. Umpire Brathwaite with his arms outstretched. We take the score up into the 40s. So they're getting the runs that they need, but they need to keep the wickets in hand. 32 needed from 10.1. Ooh, lovely delivery there from Sugrim. Slowed it right down, toss it up, almost a la Bishan Singh Bedi, and beaten outside the off stump there was Fontaine. And at the end of 10 overs, we're going to have drinks, and the Windward Islands in pursuit of a target of 73. They are 41 for 6. They need another 32 from 10. We'll be right back. Yes, welcome back to the Arnoldville playing field. We have a nicely poised game here. 32 needed from 10 overs. As I say good afternoon again to Kenroy Martin. Good afternoon to Kenroy. Good afternoon to all our viewers.
Good afternoon, Alanson. Good afternoon to the viewers. As you said, it's nicely poised, 41 for 6. Windwards making a nice comeback here after losing those 4 wickets pretty early and the other 2 to follow. Now these 2 have come together and batted well. Noel is on 12 and Fontaine is on 2. But Trinidad continues to put the pressure on Windwards.
Yes, and the skipper has brought herself back, Anisia Mohammed. Looking for another wicket to break this partnership.
Yeah, she's looking to close things out here, Anisia. Really good move, I think, by her, knowing that there's just about 32 runs to get herself and the other opening bowler should really be brought back into the attack to take things. This one is hit over mid-wicket. Good shot there by Noel. That's our game, really. She's somebody who could take the game away from you, Noel, by just playing her game, natural game. So 2 more runs to her, 2 more runs to Windward Islands. It's 43 for 6.
Yeah, so far, she has been able to put the ball into the gaps.
She loves to play her shots, Noel. This one is just in the inner portion of the bat. Runs down to fine leg. A short fine leg just stops in the middle of the field, really. Picks up a bye signal by the umpire.
Yeah, so looking to hit that one a bit too hard there, Kenroy. Missing it.
Yeah, but she needs somebody to stay with her here. And Fontaine has the opportunity to do so. Somebody needs to stay and bat with her. If she doesn't get that sort of support, she will not be able to do what she ought to do here for the Windwards. It is Mohammed trying to deny them of such. Not a good delivery just on the line of middle and leg. Turns out to feel that short mid-on who does the feeling. The over comes to an end. It's 44 for 6. But even though they have come back nicely, they have to be careful with these overs. They run away rather quickly as well.
Well, at this stage, the required weight is not high, and they do only have 4 wickets in hand. So they have to be able to manage the risk. That's very important, that they manage the risk while still getting the ball into the gaps for some singles every over. We have seen Noel, she has the right idea and seem to have also the relevant skill and required skill to do that for them. So I would say that I would venture out to say that if she's there at the end of the game, that the Windwards should win the game. However, see from the Trinidad and Tobago bowling attack that they are an excellent bowling attack and they do put a lot of pressure on these batters.
So this one is Mohammed. This one is popping off the outer portion of the bat of Noel. Wasn't in control of that, was looking to run it down Turnman, but it got big on her. And she just run it. It fell in no man's land. She picked up another single. But as I've been changing the bowling, the pacer is now taking up the attack here. The spinners have done the job for Trinidad. Is this the best move, you think, for Trinidad and Tobago here?
Well, it seems as if they wouldn't be able to bowl 20 overs a spin or 19 overs a spin. We saw already Leon Corby bowling an over. And now Ram Tahal. So they're looking to see where they can get these overs in, because I think that coming towards the end, the experience of Anisia Mohammed would come into play. So they're looking to see where they can get the other overs in at this stage before the pressure is heaped on the bowling at the end.
Well, this one is a full delivery and she's pulling it out to mid-wicket. She's gone for one. I really think they should have been running much harder than that. Really. So Mohammed, Sugrim, she has 1. Mohammed has 1. Ramnath has 1. Somaru has 1. Has 2 as well. 2. So there's a lot of bowling in the Trinidad's attack. So there's a free hit being offered here to the perfect individual, Noel. So Ramtahal will be bowling a free hit here to Noel. She's on 15 from 17. Little cameo being played here. She has the opportunity to swing her arms, get something over the ropes. This is a top delivery outside the off stump. She misses it completely.
Yeah, for the first time she was looking to hit it just too hard. and maybe just getting some bat on it down to maybe the vacant third era would have given her a couple.
It's Ram Tahal again. This one is driven back to her. Seems to be one of the youngsters been drafted into the Trinidad and Tobago's team. She has a work cut out for her here this evening. Bouncy run up. This one is full delivery. I think it's hitting the inner portion of the bat. Had a half-hearted appeal there. Thought that she had her. That was a good full delivery on the stumps. Noel trying to whack it out to mid-wicket. Only finding that field at backward point. Still in the run. This one is outside the off stump. Better delivery, lovely hands by Noel. Telling you that she can do many things. She can attack and also she can defend. Which is pretty good. 47 for 6. 10th time here. Important overs been bowled. So it's outside the off stump. She's pulling it through mid-wicket. It doesn't have the legs. Does it? It's getting close. Brilliantly fielded there by Sugrim. Picks that up just in front of the rope. And a return into the wicket keeper. But 2 runs to the Windwards total. But that was some good cricket all around there.
It's good feeling by the fielder coming around the left-arm spinner, Sugrim. Covering the ground quickly. Getting the throw in. Keeping the batters down to 2. So at the end of over number 12, they are 49 for 6. They require another 24 from 8 overs at 3 runs and over.
Well, at this time, I think you have lost 6 wickets, but you have more balls than runs to get. I think it should be an easy task for the Windward Islands batters, but knowing the Trinidad bowling attack, I'm not too sure how easy that is. From here, it would seem to be easy, but being in the middle is a different thing. This one is outside the off stump, driven straight back for another single. So light work being made here of the bowler so far. Another single, 49 for 6.
Yes, it brings up the 50, that last single. So 50 coming up off 12.1 over 6 wickets lost for the Windward women.
50 is on the board. 12.1 overs been bowled. Windwards won the toss, opted to bowl. Did a fantastic job with the ball. Needs to do it with the bat as well. Good bowling there again, beating outside edge into the keeper's glove. Is Ramnath.
Yeah, does have some variety, Ramnath. Tends to bowl off spin, but I'm pretty sure I saw her bowl 1 leg spinning delivery earlier today.
This one is a low one outside the off stump. Wide signal by the umpire. Rightfully so.
Yeah, just as soon as you big up a bowler, the commentary box tends to happen.
This one is a flatter one. Good run in there between the wickets. Good call. Excellent cricket between Fontaine and Noel. Good cricket there between these two. They need to score these sort of runs. Put the Trinidad team under some pressure. Run your first run hard. Hit the ball in the gap. Have a momentum. That's good cricket there by these two. Looking to take the Windward Islands home. This one is just outside the off stump, as my coach used to say, playing a get-out shot. Just outside the off stump, fishing. When fishing in there is a Fontaine. Has to be careful. This one is played uppishly to cover. Another dot delivery. 52 for 6.
At the beginning of the over, they needed 3 from the over. They have already gotten that. So there's no need for them to panic. Good delivery again there from Ramnath. So the over ends 52 for 6 after 13.
Yeah, really good over there by Ramnath. But As you said, no rush for the Windward Islands. They got the required amount of runs they need from that over 3 runs. So, required run rate is 4. 3. And the current run rate is just about 4. So they're really above the required run rate. So there shouldn't be any panic at all. The only thing is that they have 4 wickets in hand. These 2 need to take it to the end. This one is outside here, some driven to short cover. Who does the feeling? Labored down to the ground.
Yeah, Vincent is stopping that one.
This one is a full delivery pull out to mid-wicket where they get to the fence. Good feeling there by the lady on the boundary. Tumbling save, I should say. 2 more runs. Great cricket all around.
That was excellent feeling actually, because at one point it seemed as if it was going over the ground quite quickly. But the fielder there at mid-wicket tumbling down, intercepting it before it crossed the boundary.
Partnership of 30 from 38 delivery. These 2, they continue to bat well for Windward Islands. But Ramtal trying to dismiss one of these. Windward Islands dugout rather quiet. Trinidad and Tobago rather quiet. Tense time here at Annisville between these 2 teams. Ramtal running away from us. Another good delivery, squeeze out to backward point. Good throw into the keeper's glove. Everybody's up for this one. Trinidad looking to continue in their winning ways. Windwards looking to get their 4th win in this tournament. Ramtahal, nice bounce. This one outside the off stump. It's in the air. Would somebody take the catch? No, it falls in no man's land. The captain was trying to get it, but it fell in no man's land. A difficult one. It goes a begging, and Noel survives.
Yeah, I think that was an injudicious shot there from Noel. You're really in charge of the game. I mean, 2 runs already from the over. You need 3 every over. No need really to put that shot with 6 wickets down. But I'm sure Ramtahal would say that she exerted that pressure in the over, and she was deserving of a wicket.
Dude, yeah, she is again. This one is a fuller delivery, trying to get it up. Beats the post at mid-wicket. Looks to me as Cooper. Couldn't get around. Probably just trying too hard there. 56 for 6, just to let you know. Alexander got 16, Mohammed got 11, Shah got 7, 2 for 5, 2 for 9, and 2 for 10. That was Ross, James, and Fletcher. Trinidad and Tobago. 17 runs to get 30 deliveries. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's correct. 30 deliveries, 17 runs.
So, should be an easy task from here on in. But cricket, the game of glorious uncertainties.
Interesting development here. You see that Noel, she's receiving some treatment. I don't know if it's for cramps or something else. Seems to be in some distress. And she has been the key batter for the Windward Islands in this innings. In fact, in this game, no one has crossed 20. She has been the only batter to get to 20 runs from either side. So 21 off 29 she is at the moment. Receiving some treatment. It's a good opportunity for the Trinidad and Tobago team then to regroup. See the senior pro in Cooper having a chat there with our skipper Anisia Mohammed during this little break. Probably reformulating some plans as to how to break this key partnership.
Yeah, they have a very good partnership so far. I think it's gone to 31 from about 40 deliveries between these two, if my memory serves me right. Need another 17 runs. Current run rate is 4. Required run rate is 2.83. But what is important here is this partnership for the Windward Islands. Need to keep going to get them over the line. Trinidad would need another wicket to get into the thick of things here again. So it's Samaru who's bowling from the airport, and this one is flighted, beating outside the off stump, close to the edge. That was into the keeper's glove. This one is short and been pulled to mid-wicket. Still no run. There's a deep mid-wicket, a long on, a long off, and everyone else in the circle. Backward point, cover point, short extra cover. Mid-wicket, square leg, mid-on, all in the circle. Flighted again, close to that bat edge of Fontaine. And she keeps floating with danger outside the off stump. She has to be very careful.
She hasn't really gotten across to those deliveries outside the off stump, so she's stretching for them.
Samaru. This one is being pulled again straight to Cooper, who does the fielding. Been asked to do a few things today, Cooper. Good tight over so far. This one is flighted again straight to mid-on. Then again she can't get that single.
This is an interesting field set. You have a mid-on that's very straight and also a long on. So I like what I'm seeing from the skipper here of the Trinidad and Tobago team.
Yeah, very experienced skipper she is. This one is hitting through the gap this time and finding the long on this time. So another single. So that brings you over to an end.
So after 15, it's 57 for 6. Only one run from that over. They do need 16 from 5 overs, so just over 3 runs and over required. But that was an excellent over bowl there from Samaru. Just a single conceded in the over. And the Trinidad and Tobago women will be wanting more of the same from the new bowler, who will be Sugrim.
Yeah, successful bowler, Sugrim. Started with the skipper, picked up 4 wickets amongst them within 4 overs. So she's back on looking for that breakthrough for Trinidad and Tobago. She will be bowling to Fontaine. 21 to Noel, 6 to Fontaine. Sugrim, full delivery, pulled down to mid-on. Another single. 16 to get, 15 to get. She has an economy of 2.21, 2 wickets so far, 7 runs, 15 dot deliveries, 1 maiden so far in this game.
It's an excellent spell from Sugrim.
Flighted delivery, it's in the air, but it falls short of that field that long off. Drops in no man's land again.
Well, the batter will tell you that she did that intentionally. It's finding a gap. And it all is well that ends well. It's a single to the Windwards women. 14 from 28 needed now.
Flirting with danger. So Trinidad looking for that breakthrough. Windwards hoping that these two take them to the end. Sugrim flighted outside the leg stump, wide call by the umpire. Windwards will take that at any cost.
You have to be careful of these wides, Trinidad and Tobago women. They have conceded a few extras, and with only 13 needed from now, they can become quite telling.
I agree with you there. This one is a flatter, straighter delivery. Seems to be in some trouble here. Wasn't fielded cleanly. Still didn't get that run. So that dot delivery continues to plague this tournament. 60 for 6. 13 from 4.3 overs. Has been a ding-dong battle here at Annisville in this second game on the third day. Third round. This one is outside your stump, and as you mentioned before, these wides could cost Trinidad and Tobago this game. Inconsistency when it comes to bowling at this time could be a detriment. Sugram flighted inside edge from one of those French countries. That's a shot being played by them. We call it that. Another run. 11 now. Needed by Windwards.
And the Windwards will take them anywhere they can get them. 11 needed, as you mentioned. Brings Noel back into strike, who has been the mainstay of this innings.
Grim flirting with danger is Noel onto the keeper's glove. Oh, how they would love to have a breakthrough here, Trinidad and Tobago. Windwards hoping that these two take them over the line for their first victory. This one is on the leg stump. He's hiked down to third, down to fine leg. He's bouncing once, bouncing twice. 2 runs comfortably. Another 2 runs. 2 important runs here. And the Windwards continue to march on here at Annisville playing field. They need another 9 runs to get.
It's 9 needed from 4 overs. So the equation now really swinging more in favor in terms of the pendulum to the Windwards women. But of course, with only 4 wickets in hand, a wicket or 2 here can really change things again. As we mentioned a few overs ago, the rate is not really what is in question, but it's how many wickets are left and whether there will be any panic at the end.
Yeah, that's a big word, panic. Who would be confident enough to take them over the line? These two are tasked with that now. Noel has gotten the high score so far in both innings, 24 not out. She got that from 32 deliveries. Fontaine is supporting her well, 8 from 23. This one is pulled nicely through square leg. They should get 2. No, they're settling for 1. No need any risk. Another single, 8 runs to get. Single digits, counting down. Windward's dugout seems to be a little bit happier. Still tense time here. A wicket here could swing the pendulum. Samaru, she's coming around the wicket. Right arm around, she's bowling to Noel. Flighted outside the off stump. Wide delivery. Waiting on the umpire's call, and this camper another one. By single by the umpire. 1 run.
Yeah, seeing as the Samaru there just bowled one of those lower arm deliveries, wide up the crease. So I was looking to probably defeat Noel with the angle. Isn't taken cleanly by keeper Saw.
Samaru. This one is short and looking to pull it, another single. So Windwards just keep ticking it off here. It's getting easier and easier for the batters. 6 runs to go. Everybody should be happy in that dugout here, Windwards. Samaru, final over. She has gone for 13, 1 wicket. Flighted delivery, driven down the ground again. Easy single.
Yeah, that's good cricket from Noel. Just doing what is required. As I said before, when she came out, she was able to score without taking much risk. And that is what you need. You're chasing a score that at the beginning required you to just go just at over 3.5 and over.
Yeah, just take your time, play it on the merit, each ball on its merit. Pick the gap, turn the strike over. These two have done that very well. Don't take any risks. This one is hit over mid-wicket. No man's land. Picks up another single. Easy as that. Fontaine doing the job here for Windwards along with Noel. She moves to 10 now from 34 deliveries. 11 from 26, sorry. And Noel has 25 from 34. Samaru around the wicket. Final delivery in her spell. The sweeper has been brought in to cut out that single. There's a long off. There's a long on. Deep mid-wicket. Samaru, final delivery. Outside the awesome squeeze down to backward point. No run. The over comes to an end.
Yes, and overcomes to an end at the score 69 for 6. The Windward Islands, they require, Windward Islands women, they require 4 runs for victory from 3 overs. And I must commend Noel on her innings so far. You saw even that last delivery. She was well aware of what was happening. The skipper for Trinidad was also well aware. They brought in the fielder, not so that she would not be on strike at the beginning of the next over, but she also was looking for that single, trying to open the face just to go behind point. So you could see there that, she is aware of what is happening in the game and she's adjusting to the situation that is in front of her.
Yes, and that is pretty good. And cricketers have to learn to adjust and accommodate when it comes to cricket. Mohammed is back. This is the first delivery. There's a loud appeal. Not out, says the umpire. I think that one was turning a little bit too much, going down leg. Not out, says the umpire. He will signal the leg by now. But how close that was.
Yes, looking at the replay, you see that one flighted up on the off stump, but so much turn. Yes, really, they would have missed the stump easily. Just too much turn there in the end on that delivery. So
3 to get. Mohammed. Flighted delivery. Whack to mid-wicket. Fontaine enjoying herself there. Sight of victory very close. Windward's dugout still tense. Mohammed. 3rd delivery. Flighted outside the off stump. It's in the air. Keeper would take it. Shaw takes a catch. 70 for 7. Has this signaled the turn of things here? I think she took too long to come back to the bowling attack, really, Alan. So, but she strikes.
Yeah, and I was thinking to myself that really and truly, the Windward Islands, and we were saying just the few deliveries before, but they needed not to take any risk against Anise Mohammed in this over. In fact, they could have even played out a maiden, needing only 3 from the other 2 overs. But there you have it, as we mentioned before, the panic, the pressure, and we know that it's a situation in which strange things can happen coming down to the last embers of a limited over game.
But not to forget that 2 wickets fell in 2 deliveries prior, all in this innings. Mohammed has picked up another wicket. She has 3 for 10. This is her final over. She has 3 more deliveries. And Windwards just have another 3 wickets intact. They need to get 3 runs.
I'm telling you, it's not over yet. That wicket now has brought things, I would say, almost on an even keel because Anise Mohammed has the ball. So she can do some damage in this over.
Anything could happen here. Anything could happen here. Anise Mohammed, 3 for 10. Windward 70 for 7. 3 runs to get. Everyone in the circle except for the mid-on. She's just outside. It's Mohammed. Down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. They have gone for 1. They'll be back for 2. She sends her back. Really should have been running 2 there. But she still gets 2. I think the score is tied here. Wide signal by the umpire. 1 run to win here at the Windward Islands. And I think Fontaine would want to bring this one home.
Yeah, she signaled very early that she was not going to come back for 2 days, Fontaine.
It's Mohammed to Fontaine. Flighted outside the off stump. Punches back to her.
So Mohammed is getting pretty just torn here on the wicket, so Fondin has to be careful of stamping on the back foot to these deliveries.
Here we go. Flighty delivery outside the off stump. She's pulling that down to mid-on. She doesn't get the run that she needs. Still one delivery remaining. Windwards just want to win. They would be happy with this result this afternoon. This one has been pulled again. Misses. That's the end of the Mohammed over. So, Mohammed's spell has come to an end. An excellent spell so far. She has bowled 4 overs, 20 dot deliveries, 12 runs. She has picked up 3 wickets, economy of 3. Seagram 4 for 17. Ramnath had a good spell as well. But the Windwards are in the driver's seat. 4 wickets to fall, 1 run to get. Easy game for the Windward Islands. And there will be this first victory in this tournament here, Windwards. And oh, how happy they would be here. Defeating the top team in the competition so far. They're at the top of the table, Trinidad and Tobago. They have not lost a game until today. And oh, how cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties. And a settler, the greatest settler.
Well, will there be a hat-trick?
I don't think so. Not today. This one is hit. Misses. Sorry. Thought he had that one. Into the keeper's glove. Ramnath bowling the final over here. Well, the penalty made over. She swings down to mid-off. She runs the single over. That's it. Windward Islands have won this game. They have beaten the mighty Trinidad and Tobago here. They were unbeaten until today. Windward hadn't scored a win in this tournament, and they have done it today against Trinidad and Tobago. They should be happy. Trinidad and Tobago have to go back to the drawing board, think about what they have done and how they have done it. But Windwards are happy today. They have defeated Trinidad and Tobago in this, the 3rd round of this West Indies T20 blast here at Arnesville playing field, played in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well played to the Windward Islands. After a few hiccups, they have gone over the line, Allenson.
Yes, well, it was an interesting game. It really came right down to the wire. But the Windwards, in terms of the run rate, they were always in charge of the game in terms of the run rate. It was the wickets that was the issue. And really and truly, you must give a lot of credit to Noel and Fontaine. Fontaine kept her cool all through that partnership and right to the end. And Noel, just up until she played that last shot of Anisha Mohammed, was doing quite well in terms of getting the score, keep the scoreboard ticking, and not doing so by taking much risk. And I think that in the end, that partnership was a difference in this game.
Yeah, the excellent partnership between Noel and Fontaine really set up things here for the Windward Islands, and they have come out victorious. Not forgetting, we have one more game for the day. Here at 7 p.m., we will be having Guyana versus Barbados here at Arnesville in the final game of the 3rd round. But Windwards are happy, their camp are happy, is happy. Trinidad and Tobago have lost their first game in the tournament. We'll be back right here at Arnesville to bring you the 3rd game in the West Indies Women's T20 tournament, T20 blast here at Arnesville. It was a pleasure being here, and we'll see you in a few in Los